All right. Live stream activated here for News AF live on April 2nd. Going to talk about some dumb April Fool's jokes. Get all wound up about terrible April Fool's jokes.
Really?
Why can't you
I saw
connect
some
the
bad ones. Saw some real bad ones yesterday.
Why can't you connect the live stream to like Alexa? That would be
I thought you
cool.
were going to say to your dick. And I was like, I don't even know how that would work.
Then you could tell her just start live stream.
Well,
Wouldn't that be
it's
nice?
too easy to start the live stream. My kids started it one time.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
And then what did they see you doing?
I was
Were they talking about Big Brother?
No, I was in the bathroom
They were talking
and,
about Big
and
Brother.
I was getting ready to take my younger son somewhere. And so he was like in my office, just like, you know, he like this desk is like a little up in the a little elevated, and so he's like just like banging all the buttons, and then I'm getting like notifications from people like, hey, do you realize you're live streaming? I said, no, I had no idea.
Wow.
Phone fell on the floor. Okay.
People were stoked for a little extra content.
Special,
Yeah, but no, like nobody was in the room. You could just hear me yelling at my kids. That was really it.
Oh, the
That was
truth.
really it. I mean,
The
thank
real
God it
live
wasn't
stream.
like I wasn't like fighting with my wife or anything.
That was probably honest. That was raw.
Yeah.
That was the shit people
Raw,
want to
unfiltered,
see.
raw,
Big Brother
raw
live
and
feeds.
unfiltered.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
You tell
All
me
right.
when to hit record.
All right. Let's
yeah.
let's hit record. Let's start the recording of the news.
Recording
AF.
now.
This I know how to do. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Push the record button, Danny.
Push the record button. Okay. This is like behind the scenes so people can see how a podcast works. Also.
My hands are anticipating a clap.
And then here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna all clap to synchronize our audio for when Scott St. Pierre puts this all together. So let's do a 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then we'll match that up on the timeline, and then we'll cut all this part out for the audio podcast. And then
They don't get these goods.
they don't get to hear all this. Okay.
No, this is just for us and you.
Just for us on video. Okay. All right. I'll give a shout out to Tara who said, "Hey, make sure you do the live stream today. Got to see
We are doing it.
Got to see how vascular Danny looks this morning."
Yeah, big old vascular.
Grotesque.
Yes.
Grotesque.
It's all on my legs.
Yeah. All your lower body.
No, my arms are pretty good. Nurses are always pleased. Although they say just having big veins isn't enough to make them really happy.
What else do they
There
need?
could be sometimes it's hard to get the needle in there. They say they move around a lot.
Oh. Okay.
Does your family call you Vascular D ever?
No.
Your brothers have
always
never
turn to-
said it?
Do you
always
have
turn
a pillow embroidered vascular D?
all of my bathrobes have that.
But your
And-
brothers who listen to the show have never called you that.
I'm sure they've mentioned it. I always tell the nurse, I'm like, look, my friends call me Vascular D. You can call
Is
me
that true?
no.
All right, here let's start the show. Okay. All right. Hey everybody, what's going on? I am Rob Cesternino back again to talk with you about the week's most interesting news stories for the first week of April 2019 here on News AF.
If the story is buzzing like it's on crystal meth, it's about to be News AF. If the same old news makes you bored to death, it's time for some News AF. Actual, factual news.
Yes, that's right. Here we are here, April 2019 on News AF with our News AF team. Here he is coming to us from the great state of Arizona. Please welcome Mr. Tyson Apostle.
Whoop. One of the Sunshine States.
What are the other ones?
Probably Florida, maybe California,
Definitely.
Nevada, maybe.
Okay.
Lots of sunshine in Nevada.
Utah,
Story checks out.
Colorado,
How long are you going to go?
New Mexico.
Not sure if Colorado is a sunshine state.
You think Colorado's pushing the limit?
I think that's pushing it.
Okay. Well, it is a high desert, though.
It is a high desert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am here in Arizona still, although we got notice from our landlord that they are going to be moving into this house in 6 months' time.
Oh, no.
Yep.
You're being evicted.
So what are you going to do?
I don't know.
Squat?
I'll probably wait till the day before the 6 months is up.
Okay. All right. So
Just become a squatter, change the locks.
Yeah, exactly.
that's not fun. It's not fun. All right. So that the rest of the country needs to now start their open campaigning for which state will get the apostles.
World. It could go world.
Worldwide.
Yeah.
Mr. Worldwide.
Worldwide.
Tyson Apostle. All right.
Yeah.
A man who is no stranger to traveling the world. Danny Bryson is here. Danny, how are you?
I'm doing pretty great. I'm currently watching a fake video of an Amazon blimp that releases drones to deliver packages. And I got to say, it is kind of terrifying.
It sounds like one of those World War II videos or Star Wars where the thing opens up and then a bunch of bugs come out.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly what it is. It's unnerving, and I could easily see this happening. Like the big blimp is the factory with all the packages, and then it sends out the little drones.
Very impractical to have all the packages up in the blimp.
In a blimp, yeah. Blimps are notorious, especially in the olden days, for having problems.
They sure are.
But it's a pretty cool video. Maybe a glimpse into a terrifying
Our
future.
future.
Okay.
Well, I've been reading 1984, the book.
Yeah, why?
I don't know. Just because I don't know if I've ever read it.
Is the only book you have in your house?
No.
Eventually, I'll read this.
Yeah.
tonight.
I listened to the audiobook a long time ago.
Of 1984?
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of the predictions weren't fully accurate, but you can see.
Yeah. They were early.
They were definitely early. They were early. It's going to be 10 more years before we settle into that existence.
Yeah.
Danny, list your top 3 favorite nicknames for yourself.
I like Danny. Was it Monday or Sunday?
Danny Monday.
Danny Monday.
That sounded pretty cool. Like
yeah.
Western. I don't like Vascular D, but it really seems to be sticky.
Yeah, people like that one.
Yeah, Shauna in the chat wants to know, does Danny have a big forehead vein?
Oh,
Probably
yeah.
when I rage out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have one too. If I rage or if I bend over to pick something up.
You know, my wife has a big forehead vein that looks exactly like the flux capacitor.
Oh, that's
really?
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is good luck.
I keep expecting her when I upset her to time travel.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like it's powering up.
She's got to
and
be going
also
88 miles an hour, Danny.
So next time, get 88 miles an hour and rage her.
Yeah.
And she also has to be powered with 1.21 gigawatts of electricity as well.
Yeah, that part's dangerous. I can't. That's no.
Okay.
Won't
Well,
happen.
I mean, if you want time travel to be possible, Danny.
Yeah.
Oh, sacrifices
know
must
what
be
it
made.
takes.
I agree.
Right. Okay. And that was 2 nicknames. What was the third? Skeet Dog, right?
Oh, yeah. Skeet Dog.
You know, the worst part about nicknames is you can't legally, I'm going to say legally, I'm no lawyer, give them to yourself.
I think
yeah.
you can.
These are not nicknames that I would choose for
You're
myself.
not supposed to. You're not supposed
Yeah.
to give yourself nicknames.
So when you ask someone for their favorite 3 nicknames, unless they're a really cool guy like The Rock, you're probably not going to have flattering nicknames. And so your choices are limited to 3 nicknames someone else gave you.
We had a friend that we called Dick Tease because someone mistook him for someone's girlfriend because he was pretty and had long hair.
Mm-hmm.
And he kept standing us up. And so people eventually didn't know his real name.
I don't know his name, but I know who he is.
Yeah, see, Danny doesn't know his real name.
Yeah.
And then this other kid was like, that's so cool that stuck so hard. Can you give us a nickname? And we were like, oh, you ask for a nickname?
That doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, our buddy gave him his last name was Harris. So Willie, our friend, gave him the nickname Handjob Harris. He immediately despised, but we would always shout out from across like whatever parking lot, wherever we saw him, we'd be like, hey. And he,
I mean, I guess that could go any number of ways. I think it really depends on what the
Just
backstory is.
The moral of the
For
story is
H.J. Harris.
You got to be careful when asking for or receiving a nickname.
Like, you know, I feel like that maybe people could be intrigued of like, hey, why is he H.J. Harris?
yeah, exactly.
Like, wow, funny you should
tell you,
ask. Yeah,
he broke some world records.
yeah.
Well,
You know, it doesn't really imply is he performing or receiving. It's a mystery.
yeah, it is a mystery. I've had only 2 nicknames that have really stuck. One of them was during scout camp. I had the flu.
Mm-hmm.
And so they called me Disease. That stuck for like a couple months.
They just called you Disease.
Yeah.
Oh, here comes Disease. I don't like that. There's no flow to it.
Yeah. And then somebody tried getting Stork to catch on because I'm kind of tall and gangly.
Mm-hmm.
And it did a little bit, but not. They weren't. I don't think they were flowy enough. I mean, Vascular D just has some flow to it.
Yeah.
So you know it's sticking.
Yeah. Stork's a bad one. You got bad nickname givers.
Okay.
Well, I mean, Tyson.
Mm-hmm.
You got to top. It's got to be better than Tyson.
Yeah.
Rob, what are your nicknames?
Oh, the bad boy of podcasting, the Rob that sucks. So many to
The bad boy of podcasting. Why do they call you that?
What? That sounds like a name you gave yourself.
No, that was a name that was given to me early on because a lot of the podcasters back when I started podcasting really like played by the rules, and I kind of came in and turned the whole podcast game on its head. Where I said, "Oh, what if I do this? What if I do this? Like, what if I don't do one show a week? What if I do a bunch of shows?" Like, no, you can't do that. I said, "Oh yeah, watch me."
Yeah, watch me.
Wow.
I'm the bad boy of podcasting.
Mm-hmm.
Call me that. Tell your friends that's what I'm called.
Yeah. So that
Did you rip all? It sounds like you ripped all the sleeves off of your shirt. I mean,
And wear a leather vest over.
Looking like the Bonds.
So that's one of the names that did stick. So let's talk about some of this topical news, of course, today. Now, yesterday, April 1st, 2019, was a Monday of this week. One of my least favorite days of the year, Danny, because
Monday or April?
No, I don't mind Mondays because it usually is the end of where my entire family is around and everybody's back in school, and so Monday is usually good. A lot of time that has to go into the wand off, but just in general, I don't have any issues with Mondays or Danny Monday. But this Monday was April Fool's, and really, it's such a barometer for who's funny and who's not. So many terrible April Fool's jokes. Now, I did see that there was some talk about AF. Does that actually stand for April Fools? When people say something is AF, are they really saying April Fools?
Interesting.
That could have been our joke. Could
No,
have come out
it's not.
and said,
we're not April Fools.
No,
Nope.
we don't. We don't
We're
believe
actual
in it.
factual.
Yeah. I did explain April Fool's Day to my kids. And
Did they like it?
They loved it. They were so excited about April Fools, but they didn't
Playing
really quite.
Did you play any pranks on them?
I didn't play any pranks on them, but they were like, "Hey, Dad, I'm not gonna punch you, April Fools," and then they did punch me.
Punch you?
So,
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds like they're learning from YouTube about pranks.
Yeah.
Right.
Cat turd sandwiches.
Violence,
next year.
pain,
Right.
not really a joke.
Yes.
We
In an unrelated story, though, Tyson, I did
Yes.
see that Russell Hantz did announce that he is going to be taking over as the host of Survivor when Jeff
that's gonna be
Probst
so good.
steps down after 2 more seasons.
Yeah, and his like 4 doofus cronies were like, I would love to watch that, but they misspelled a lot of words when they said it to him. Yeah, I saw that. That was great. It was really, really funny.
Yeah.
Did they misspell
funny.
love? HATE.
Yeah, exactly. We let the whole day slip past us without introducing Bergen to April Fools. And then afterwards, we were like, she would have loved April Fool's Day.
Mhm. Yeah.
Especially if you were pulling pranks on her all day, like tripping her,
Pushing her
Rachel,
down, giving her
Rachel
wedgies.
behind her, push her over Rachel, all those jokes.
Mhm.
Well, Bergen
Yeah.
likes to like get scared. We just introduced her to Scooby-Doo, the old school one, because I knew she would love it because she loves monsters. And then the fact that at the end the monster always gets its mask pulled off, she just loves that.
Mhm.
So I thought this would be fun for her, but then I was like, seems like a lot of extra stuff I'm gonna have to be doing. And how do I explain to her that tomorrow is just another normal, boring day again?
Yeah. Well, those are the high highs of April Fool's Day, where
They sure are.
Top
April,
parent
April
choices.
2nd is always right around the corner.
Yep.
So April Fool's Day, really just a minefield for all of these companies. Vice has an article out today where they say, "Welcome to April Fool's Day, the absolute worst of branded fun."
Yep.
Agreed.
Where a lot of companies really try to make things happen over on April Fool's Day. My biggest problem here with April Fool's Day, it didn't used to bother me as much, but now we live in a world where we're surrounded by fake news, and it's one of the reasons why I hate The Onion as well, where that all the headlines of all of the news is unbelievable and too crazy to believe. Yep. And so The Onion, to me, has ceased to have a place here in the world. Also, The Onion really doesn't need to write articles. I think that The Onion can just have headlines, and then nobody's ever clicked through to an Onion article.
I have read the articles.
I think they mostly are headlines, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have read a couple articles that were hilarious.
Mm-hmm. The articles were hilarious? Time? What year was this, Danny?
It has been a while, so I haven't read it out recently, but yeah.
Right. In the current world, The Onion has no place, and so I really hope that they would shut it down, because it's really and then like The Onion.
But wouldn't people lose their jobs?
They'll get new jobs.
Okay, as long as you promise me that they'll find themselves new jobs.
Mm-hmm. I think it's also hemorrhaging money, also from something I read recently. Yeah. Anyway, so April Fool's Day, brands trying to make something happen here, and so let's talk about some of the ways that it went wrong.
Who was the first brand to really insert themselves on April Fool's Day? Because I remember like 10, 15 years ago, somebody did something that everybody was raving about. And I think that was the beginning of the end there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who it was, but I remember everybody was like, did you see that? Did you see that? That's what they announced. And we're like, yeah, that was so
you're
good.
saying if you could, you would build a time machine, go back to that first joke and end it before it started?
Yeah, but how would I do that? Run for president?
No, you need Liz to get up to 88 miles an hour.
Okay.
Enrage her, and then send her back in time.
Mm-hmm.
And
to stop it.
To stop it, yeah. She'll be like, "Where is the funny?" She's like, "Where is the first April Fool's joke?" That's what she'll wander around asking. Joke. Yeah, she'll have to find the very first one, the one Tyson's talking about 15 years ago, and then just end it, like smash the VHS tape or whatever it's on.
Yeah.
To be broadcast.
Yeah. Every day is April Fool's in 2019. So we don't need another day of
yeah, that's why this podcast exists.
That is true.
Okay. Let's go to the U.S. Open. Announced that instead of ball boys or ball girls, they're going to have dogs at the U.S. Open. And people were delighted, thrilled,
stoked.
Pumped up. Finally.
This is going to double their revenue.
I'll watch the U.S. Open now. Only problem was April Fools. We got you.
Suckers.
Yeah.
Boom.
And people were really disappointed.
The one thing I don't understand about this, okay, so you want that to happen. Let's say you're one of these people who wants it to happen. Does the ball, wouldn't it be unusable? So every time the puppy retrieved the ball, it would now have to be thrown in the garbage.
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing.
It would be sloppy,
yeah,
for sure. I think they should just have a giant like tennis ball fire next courtside.
The dog runs over and throws the ball in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, much like your friend that Danny doesn't know his real name, these April Fool's jokes fall into a couple of categories. This one we'll call the tease.
Yeah, this is the tease. This is my favorite one.
Hey, here's something that you would like. Psych,
just
not real.
Here's a pretty good idea that is actually just a little bit too impossible to make happen, but you would all love it.
You would love it, but no, not going to happen. So keep dreaming, folks.
Yeah.
Enjoy the regular crappy U.S. Open.
Please come to our event next year.
This message was paid for by the U.S. Open. Just reminding you how boring it is to not have dogs at the U.S. Open.
As the ball boys.
I
mean, even if they came out and just like dressed the ball boys as dogs, that would still be something.
That'd be something.
Like a peace offering.
I've been trying to think of other cute animals they could use that might be a little bit more or less slobbery.
That could be something within a
No, that's not cute. Like, weren't possums a thing for a while? Didn't you love possums, Tyson?
No.
Nobody likes possums.
A sloth.
A sloth.
No, too slow.
Too slow. It would have to
hang out on the net.
A baby orangutans.
Nah, that's disturbing.
They've got a million tennis balls. The dog could go get the tennis ball, put it in a bucket, then put the tennis balls in a dryer, and then you could use them for the next match.
No, I don't want to touch a tennis ball that's been in a dog's mouth.
Ever? Even
Well,
if what if
luckily,
it, put it in the sun.
You don't have to because you're not in the U.S. Open.
Yet.
Yeah.
EMB.
Dog picks up the ball, puts it in a bucket. Bucket sits in the sun. They use the balls later this afternoon.
Nope.
No?
I think you either have to go with a giant raging tennis ball fire or a full wash cycle on the ball.
Okay. What about a friendly robot, like a drone?
Awesome.
Yeah, the Sony robot dog could.
Or the Honda dancing robot man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's too slow.
Yeah, those are also too slow. Eventually, you could get a nice, or the not DARPA, the Boston Dynamics dog. That thing's terrifying.
Oh, I got a better idea. The IVAC, the Roomba.
Roomba.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, Roomba.
Like Roomba could design a ball picker upper.
But we're going away from the whole reason this was a success.
Because it was
cute
little dog.
Yeah, the
All right.
Roomba's not cute.
So, all right. So the U.S. Open, they upset their fan base. Okay. Over on Tinder. Okay.
Yep.
And again, I don't know who's still using Tinder when people could be getting on Ship, the hot new dating app. But Tinder told people.
What did you say?
Wait.
Ship?
Yeah, I
Ship.
agree.
Get-
Go back to
Get
Ship.
Ship.
What's
Get
Ship about?
Ship is the hot new dating app where people who are both single and in relationships can all participate in the fun because
Is this a sponsor? Are you doing a commercial right now?
They are a sponsor. I wasn't going to do the commercial now, but I'm just if you are a single person, you can invite your married and in relationship friends to help you swipe people.
Wait, you're inviting others, which this already happens, right? Your relatives are always trying to find people for you to date. Is that kind of what this is?
No,
that's exactly what this is. This wasn't supposed to be the commercial right now.
Are you ever sitting there like watching your single friend just like scroll through pictures of girls on his Tinder?
And that's why Tyson, that I've already, that Adam Klein is on there, and I go ahead and I swipe through all the people for Adam Klein. Yes or
Is
no?
that true?
Yeah.
Wow,
that's true.
I can invite you.
That's a lot.
I'll invite you to be in Adam Klein's crew. Help me.
Wow.
Help me.
I don't want to do that. I'm already on my phone too much.
That's a lot of power.
Getship.com/RJP. But so the people that are still in the Stone Ages on Tinder, they were upset because Tinder announced, hey, we are going to be introducing height verification on Tinder.
Oh, dude, the problem with this is you're pissing off anybody with little man syndrome.
Well,
They're a very angry
they
group.
were upsetting a lot of people.
Well,
And-
Tyson, how do you know it's for people who are too short? What if it's for people who are too tall?
Because nobody wants a short person.
I'm just saying, what if it's for people like who are just too tall to be comfortable around? Like can't get the right size shirts.
Nope, we've got
Frustrating.
slim, tall tees, tall slims.
All right.
So Tinder is going to have a height verification now, according to April.
I like this funny joke. What was people's beef with it?
Well, I think that it was people felt like that. Like, well, what are you saying? Why are you discriminating against short people?
But they weren't saying whether it was
super
short
tall
or
people
or anything.
Yeah. So that's what Tinder is up to.
Well,
Okay.
the problem is once you
We're outraged.
there's lots of physical features that could be added to eliminate certain individuals. So it's a dangerous road to go down, which is probably why a lot of people got upset. Like, well, what's next?
Yeah.
Stubby fingers,
Mary in a chair.
sausage fingers.
Yeah. So,
That would get me out.
all right. So
Let's see the sausage.
Vascularness.
Yeah, too vascular. You can only have a
vascular.
certain percentage of vascularity on your legs.
That's
and
right.
Exactly. Who knows what's next?
Okay. Then McDonald's Australia, they announced a new burger which was coming out, and it was a pickle burger, all pickles. I can't believe it's just pickles.
My kids would freaking love that.
No, I think it's too much pickle.
They always
pickle
ask for more
overload.
pickle. They're like, ask for more pickle, and I'm like, I don't ask for special things.
Do you know what happened with one bite of this thing? You'd bite into it, and all of the pickles would fall out.
Your tongue would shrivel up like an old apple core that's been out for a week.
That's been sitting in pickle juice.
Yeah, sitting in pickle juice. I can't even imagine.
And guess what happened? Can you guess what happened when they announced the pickle burger was coming?
People were like, ha, 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 that's April Fool's.
Nope. People were like, oh, I've been waiting for this.
Wow.
See, this is what Rob was talking about earlier. The news is so crazy every day. The weird hamburgers in Japan, the weird, you know what I mean? That this idea doesn't sound like a joke.
But how do you know that people that are like, I've been waiting for this, aren't April Foolsing back?
I get that. But what there is a small
that's a good point, Tyson.
There is a small number of people who have experienced what Rob is describing, and that is April Fools every day with all of these companies doing
one bad idea after the next. You wish it was April Fools.
Making millions and millions of dollars off each bad.
Like, think about it. Kentucky Fried Chicken perfume, bacon flavored candles.
4,000 Oreo flavors.
Yeah, but come on. The Kentucky Fried Chicken one is just so that they make the news, and they only...
Well, that's all this is.
A prototype and sell one.
I'm just saying that if every day is April Fool's Day, then there is no April 1st.
That's true.
That's exactly right,
what
Danny.
Rob said earlier. Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Thank you, guys. I was thinking that you were just saying that the news was so ridiculous, but it's all these people putting out such stupid stuff anyways.
This is a sign we are in the bad place, Tyson. Every day is April Fool's Day.
When it comes to companies.
The start of the existence of...
I'm still waiting for Gwyneth Paltrow to come out and say April Fools about
Do you think Gwyneth Paltrow is Big Brother?
Is Gwyneth Paltrow Big Brother? It's a good question.
Just said she doesn't like the idea of ex-spouses, so now she's a bonus parent.
Yeah, so you feel like the consciously uncoupled thing was probably a tell.
She's
like, that's not real. She's making stuff
recreating
up.
all sorts of things. She's April Fool's Day every day. She's like, if we had turned April Fool's Day into a person, it would be her.
She should be the mascot.
She should. She should.
She's the Santa Claus of April Fools.
Yeah, she is. She'll bring you the presents at a premium.
Oh, some great presents.
All right, enough April Fools. We're done. We're done with this. Here's something that's no joke. This is no joke. That I saw this the other day, and I said we have to talk about this on News AF. So the number of American adults not having sex has reached an all-time high, Danny.
Yeah, I read, I think it was on The Atlantic, a big article about how people are having less coitus.
Yes, than never before.
Physical congress, yeah.
And a number of reasons, I believe, were cited. Tyson, have the marriage rates skyrocketed?
No.
Oh.
Have they?
I don't know. I don't have that.
The cost of marriage?
No, that was one of my theories. Okay.
Or that more people are getting married.
No. So
more people are getting married, so there's less sex.
The problem is the person who wrote the article that I read, they sounded like they had done a lot of research, and there was no reason that anyone could really point to.
No, I think that we do have the reason.
Well,
you're going to say it right now.
We didn't have ship. Now we have ship.
Okay. So first off, just like where we have to look to who are the people that have come in and have disrupted everything, Danny?
Well, you want me to point to the group that we always point to?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not going to do it. I'm not pointing the finger. That's Tyson's job.
Okay, Tyson, the millennials. The millennials have ruined the sex rate. Young people are not having sex at rates like never before.
Like we used to.
Parents of teenagers are breathing a sigh of relief in some ways, right?
Yeah.
They are too
and
busy.
Even millennials, even overprotective millennial parents.
Yeah, they are on their phones watching Logan Paul, and they are not having sex.
Well, they're not aroused at all sexually.
Yeah. Would you
watching Cat Turd Sandwich?
Yeah. This chart here, shared by Christopher Ingram. This is the share of men under 30 who aren't having sex over the course of this. Again, this is people not having sex up to the 28%, up from around 10% only 10 years ago for men.
The problem is, after an all-pickle McDonald's sandwich, you can't copulate. It's physically impossible.
This was not an April Fool's joke, Danny.
Oh, Okay, I'm just saying that maybe some of these wacky hamburgers are just killing the drive.
Well, and then Nintendo's coming in and
social media. Hey, gotta get on social media.
Social media
time,
nonstop.
No time for coitus.
Nope. You don't have time to woo the.
I know how that
victim.
is. I remember screaming at girls to leave my house when I was playing Halo. Mm-hmm. Get out of here! You're blocking the TV.
I'm about to do a kill shot on a dude.
I'm on triple kill. Get out of here!
Yeah. So that we are more connected online, but it is not leading to more hookups, Danny.
Well, when that Demolition Man technology comes out,
you love. By the way, this is like the 10th
What's
time.
that? The 3 shells, Tyson? No, that's to go to the bathroom.
The 3 shells is to go to the bathroom. That's what they both put on the VR goggles.
Oh, yeah.
And
yes, because
Sylvester
in
like,
Demolition,
what is this?
right?
Like,
because the people in Demolition Man, they felt like that physical contact was gross.
Yeah, swapping body fluid.
That was gross. Yes.
Gross.
So according to the Washington Post in this survey, they said that 23% of adults, nearly 1 in 4, had not had sex in the past year, Danny, and a large number of the 20-something men were the people that were responding in the negative.
Yeah.
This could explain a lot of the Florida man stories we're hearing. Sexual frustration coming out in other ways.
Yeah.
Look to your left. Now look to your right. There's a chance that 50% of those people, there's a chance that one of those people, there's a 50% chance that
you are ever in, I love hearing
is not having sex every year.
That guy right there to your left.
Yeah.
Hasn't had sex every year.
Another
voluntary celibate.
Another part of this story was that the findings were that young men were also more likely to live with their parents. Also, which was not helping matters.
That's weird.
I lived with my parents at times in my adult life.
Right. So, when you live with your parents into your 30s, it's a problem in terms of
women aren't turned on.
They don't like that.
Yeah,
is that true?
I don't know. I have no research to back that up. I'm just spouting opinion.
You're just assuming.
Addressing it as truth.
Yes.
That's dangerous. That's a dangerous game, Danny.
The study also says that there are now more things to do at 10 o'clock at night than there were 20 years ago, like streaming video, social media, console games, and everything else.
That's true.
Yeah.
I mean, for us in high school, after 10, it was like you could either set things on fire,
or steal bowling balls from the bowling alley and then roll them down big hills.
Yeah, there was a lot of mischief. So maybe there's less intercourse, but there's also, I think, less pranking that's damaging property at the same time.
Yeah, less April fooling.
Every day, violent April fooling.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So. We'll see. Danny, do we expect the rates to only decrease in terms of the number of people copulating?
Potentially. They often point to Japan as our future. And out there, things are grim. Very grim. Grim. Yes, very grim.
That's
if you think about it, 20 years ago, we have so much more stuff to do now at 10 at night than we did 20 years ago. In 20 years, there's going to be even
more stuff
to do.
I'll be hooked up like the Matrix with all these tubes going into my body. And,
like directly in your eyeballs. I'm going to have like suction cups directly on my eyeballs, just jamming stuff through fiber optics, unless there's better technology than fiber optics.
Yeah, why not just plug the fiber optics right into your eyeballs? That's a perfect idea.
Yeah, it would be very hard to copulate once you have tubes going into your eyeballs.
That's exactly
that would
right.
really be.
You don't want to yank a tube off your eyeball.
Yeah, I got this eye thing.
I might scratch my cornea.
We could do something right now, but I got all these tubes in my body. I'm gonna have to unhook them all.
Right. So I think optimally you'll probably have one fiber optics suction cup to each eyeball, and then one going probably into an orifice somewhere.
Yeah.
To your heart, to your feel zone, which is your heart. Everybody knows that that's where all your emotion comes from.
Okay.
That's science.
Okay. It's a sad story. I feel like that people are more connected but less connected.
Yeah, but we also got ours, Rob.
Did we?
We're all almost 40.
Yeah.
All of us are all almost 40.
But
You're
for
40,
once
almost.
in the history of mankind, the older people can say they're doing it more than the younger. Which
Oh,
is kind of
dude.
like, hey kids.
Can they?
Yeah. Anytime I see a teenager on the street, I let them know what's up.
I can't believe
you bully young people, Tyson.
Young celibate people, yeah. Push them right on their face with my palm. Out of my way. Probably sex-starved.
Sexless weakling.
Social media addict.
Yeah. Wow. You're a bully, dude.
That's not nice, Tyson.
You got to toughen them up. It might be the only way. Maybe in the future, the only way is that we have to revert to bullying as everybody gets so soft that they're like on a pro. Michelle Obama comes out in 15 years with a pro-bullying campaign.
Oh, we want to get so because what
I don't know why
the
would
human
help.
race is dying off because nobody is procreating.
Because nobody's doing anything.
So you're like the Mr. Miyagi of like getting kids back to off their phones and out to meeting other people.
Yeah, you got to get those 6-packs on those boys and.
That does not sound good. Stop talking about this, Tyson.
All right, let's talk about another story. Oh, Danny, are you familiar with dubstep music?
Oh, dude, who is it?
It's my favorite.
You love dubstep? I gotta be honest, I didn't know what dubstep was.
Skrillex is baller, dude.
I know who Skrillex is. I have gone out of my way to listen to his music after hearing his name so much.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, people are going to be running out to their local music store to buy lots of Skrillex CDs as the weather starts to heat up, because a new study reveals that who really hates Skrillex and other dubstep artists?
People over 50.
No.
Still having sex?
No. Mosquitoes.
So you've got hip hop for cheese.
Mm-hmm.
You've got classical for plants.
Yeah.
Yep.
And now you've got dubstep for mosquito repellent.
Yes.
Right.
So you have to play it, or you just let it absorb into your body, and then when you go out later, the mosquitoes.
Oh, so you feel like if you listen to it, are you repellent to the mosquitoes?
Yeah.
No, I think you have to play it. They don't like it.
So we're just playing it nonstop everywhere we go. It's the soundtrack to our lives, just to avoid a few serious illnesses.
I think listening to Skrillex really loud also makes it so your mom doesn't want to go near you. So
yeah, you can become human repellent as well.
Yeah, look, hey, if you're 30 and you live with your parents, then that could be the opportunity that you're waiting for to drive your parents and the
for them
mosquitoes
to kick
away.
you out, and then you can sue them.
No, they can't even bring themselves to talk to you because you're listening to that.
Yeah, they can't get close enough to your bedroom.
Yeah.
For you to even yell at them to get out of your bedroom.
To issue you an eviction notice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the mosquitoes are very sensitive to sound, and the low frequency vibration of artists like Skrillex screw up the various noises that the mosquitoes are looking for.
Here's a quote in this article that makes zero sense to me.
Okay.
One guy commented, "Imagine putting on some Skrillex and all the mozzies are like, aw, F, can't root now, pack up, lads."
All the mozzies? Is that slang?
Slang for mosquitoes, dude. That's an Australian.
Yeah. Well, this is
an Australian bloke.
No,
for
this
sure.
is from an article in the UK Telegraph. So is it British mosquitoes that especially hate the
Probably
Skrillex?
Because they're so uptight. You know how they are.
Yeah. With their monocles and bullets or whatever.
And peanuts.
Okay. So
we're on the same page.
This summer, be sure to put some Skrillex on at your next party.
I'd rather have a mosquito bite.
Dude, we used to listen to Skrillex all the time at the lake. Like,
the lake is where you get bit by the most mosquitoes. So that's the perfect
That's why we had Skrillex blasting.
Yeah. You didn't even know.
Yeah. Or did we?
A person responded to the study and said, maybe we can eliminate malaria by just playing Skrillex really loud across Africa.
That's not a bad idea. Or across the entire world instead of DEET. But what if it comes out and they're like, actually, Skrillex causes even worse diseases than what the mosquitoes were doing?
Well, there's a trade-off always, Tyson.
There always is. It's never, you always think by destroying something in the ecosystem that it's smart, but then you find out that
Yeah, Mother Nature always finds a way. Yes. Yes.
Is that from Jurassic Park?
Yeah, life finds a way, they say on that.
Oh.
It's the same idea.
Same principle.
Yeah. Okay. Here are some people who are potentially not millennials. There was a man who was accessing the Google Street View and found a surprising photo that he learned that his wife was having an affair and was caught here on the Google Street View camera, Danny.
Imagine having this kind of time. Now I understand why his wife is going elsewhere for physical intimacy.
Why they weren't having sex for the last
all he does all day is just scroll down the street on Street View.
Yeah, I can't even find anything.
Is that one of the things people have to do after 10 p.m. at night? Go through Google Street View?
Yeah, to just check on their partner that they haven't had sex with for 15 years.
Or look for portals to another dimension.
Yeah.
Or weird things.
This happened in Peru. That's where this man found his significant other here on a park bench with some dude.
That's crazy. I can't even imagine how you would come across that. Like, what are the odds? Like 1 in 85.
It's not even a street.
Well, it might be. Well, it might be right outside his house. Like he might be.
Well, how many times have you looked at your house on Street View?
A couple. Sometimes I see the car drive by. Have you ever been home when you see the Street View car come through?
Yeah,
no, I'm not saying that it hasn't, but I don't think I've looked at Street View.
Here's the strangest part about this is that they are not on a street. If you look at the picture, it is a paved walkway and actually has bars blocking cars from being able to drive down it. Why is there Street View on that?
Yeah. So it says in the article that the bench that his wife and her lover sat on was right by their apartment, which was close to the house, I guess.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yes.
She's shizzing in her own backyard.
Yes. Okay. So there you go. So be on the lookout if you are suspecting your significant other of potentially being unfaithful. Check out Google Street View and see.
Yeah, just start browsing.
Yeah, go to all the check out all the streets. maybe your significant other was out there, romancing.
We could help Danny spy on everybody in his family if he just gave us his personal address.
Yeah.
Nah. No.
And we can watch your neighbor mow her lawn at 10 p.m.
Oh my gosh.
Did she start this year already?
No, she hasn't started yet, but soon. She's the last person to mow the lawn in the winter and the first to mow it in the spring. So I know it's spring by the sound of the mower kicking up.
You know that's when it's spring. Why don't you,
Liz, the sound of spring.
Here it is.
Tickling my ears.
Why don't you get a dog just so you can collect dog turds to throw on the lawn?
That sounds like a lot of work for me.
It's worth it, though.
It's not.
All right, Danny, let's talk about the worst airline passenger of the week this week.
Oh, do you want me to do it?
Yeah.
Let's see if you can do it for once.
Here's the video of this lady. She was on a flight and she wanted Pepsi. Here, Tyson, could you talk about this? Let me see if I could bring up the audio for this.
Yeah, this is crazy.
Yeah.
She wanted Pepsi so she could mix it with her. She had what they're calling a hip flask, which is pretty cool.
Okay, that is cool.
I'm guessing that a hip flask is one of those little metal things, right? That you go like this when you think no one's looking.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that she had that, how many ounces are you allowed to bring on board?
You're not allowed to bring any beverages, though.
You're not allowed to bring it. No, but people bring on, like, from the duty-free shop.
They buy it, but you can't I don't think you can get beverages through.
I found that part kind of interesting.
Yeah.
So that she was able to sneak on a hip flask, which I think that's the whole point of a hip flask.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's see. Let's see if I can get the audio for this. Okay.
Oh, she's like Russian or something?
No, she's Spanish. And well, at least she lives in Spain. And she had been yelling so much. One passenger said it was as if she was possessed. So I'm guessing that this video is near the end of her ranting.
Well, this is a 3-minute clip in the full video, so I don't know if things are gonna get worse here.
Yeah, it's already too bad.
Somebody call a priest.
Is that what she said?
No, but it sounds like
Her head just spins around 3.
That's a language that hasn't been spoken in 2,000 years.
I could understand this more if she had the Pepsi and couldn't get the vodka.
Yeah, or if she were on Greyhound or Spirit Air. Or,
First off, also, I know you guys aren't drinkers,
Right.
but Pepsi and vodka is not a drink.
Well, it is to her, Rob.
That's not a beverage.
To Europeans, it is.
Maybe it is. Maybe
she
rum
needs
and Pepsi.
alcohol to make the Pepsi taste better.
Is that what?
Danny, you're a Pepsi man.
I'm not a Pepsi man. Those
What are
were my
you?
younger years when I could handle the sweetness.
Danny used to only drink Pepsi.
Yeah, and then what happened?
I've grown. My tastes have grown with me.
Now
to
only
Mountain
Mountain
Dew.
Dew.
Yeah. Whenever there's only Pepsi, I'm like, I'll drink water.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm a Pepsi guy.
Danny drank so much Pepsi that he probably got stones from drinking so much.
They probably had a wing at the Pepsi factory
Mhm.
that is dedicated to Danny.
Danny Bryson.
Anyway, back to this lady. That is a scary set. Oh, look how big that flask is. That is definitely more than 8 ounces or whatever they're allowed.
Mhm.
That is a big flask.
Well, hard to tell how much is in the flask. She probably drank the first.
She could have brought
6
it
or
through
7 ounces.
and bought alcohol in the duty free and filled it up or something.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. And then
Mhm.
she needed the Pepsi.
Yeah.
It's weird. Pepsi. I don't think
Chase
I've
it.
seen Pepsi.
Hey,
on a
can I make a confession? If
Go on. You're a Pepsi guy?
no, that sometimes you're so bored on a flight that I hope something like this happens.
Oh, yeah. Just to watch it?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you would love.
Like,
to
look
see
at this flight. There's no TV on the back of the seat.
Plane. Yeah, they don't do
As
that
long as
anymore.
they don't have
'cause
to
everybody's on
divert the
ice.
flight and land because of her.
Yeah.
Like I would sit there and I would watch that for 15, 20 minutes.
You want
She
me
was
to
the
tell you
last-
the best outrage I saw?
Sure.
Go ahead, Danny. You want to go?
No, I was gonna say she would still be annoying because she was the last person on the flight. Like they kind of delayed.
Oh, we had to
our
wait
flight
for her, and then she
her.
does this.
So I think this is just one of many grievances
Grievances.
they
Mhm.
had with her. And so I think you would really be upset with this lady by the time
Yeah.
because also you're going to be delayed getting off because the cops have to come on, they have
Mhm.
to fight with her, mace her in the face or whatever.
Do you think somebody told her they were serving a pickle burger on the flight and then it was like,
it wasn't
no, we
there.
got you.
They were going to show the
April Fools.
U.S. Open with dogs as
With
the
puppies.
Yeah.
puppies. So one time I was on a flight, and this old lady had to be holding her cane, and they came by and they were like, "You can't hold your cane during takeoff or landing. We got to put it in your overhead." So she was like, "Okay." No, she wouldn't. At first, she was like, "No, no, no, no," and they were like, "We can't take off until you do that." So she finally like, "Okay," gave it up. They put it in the overhead. They closed it. And then 5 seconds later, she tries to get up, and she's like, as a guy's coming on the plane, and she asks him to get her cane for her. So he pops open his thing and hands her the cane. And then the flight attendants come back, and it happened like 4 times where they would put it up. She would begrudgingly give up her cane. And then the second they disappeared, she'd ask somebody else to get it down for her that was new to the whole situation.
Yeah.
It was so great because it was just like never ending. I could have been stuck there for probably 30 years, but fortunately,
You would have loved it.
yeah, fortunately nobody new came by after everybody was seated, and she didn't have anybody to trick into getting her cane down.
Mm.
This lady's another one of her complaints that they wanted to put her bag away, and she said it was filled with jewelry and a bunch of other valuables, and so she had to have it on her.
Yeah.
She needed her bag. I have jewelry, I have books, I have my money. Which, by the way, making that announcement,
Yeah.
everybody knows where to go
For the jewels.
Right.
Yeah. I've seen that happen before too. My papers are in there. Yeah, but it's just going up above you. So just like,
could you imagine being seated next to an individual like this? Like Rob would
right
find
next
it
to, you'd want to be like ideally like 2 rows behind.
I had a lady get mad at me for not turning airplane mode on my phone the first time they asked to put airplane mode on.
Because she probably thought that you were putting everyone at risk.
Take the
dude, I turned to her and I was like, I've flown literally hundreds of times. We're going to be okay. And she was like, I wouldn't want to risk anything for me to get back to my kids. This was like 10 years ago. And I was just like, okay. And she was like,
she must really love her kids.
Rob, she was also chucking food.
She threw food?
Yeah, she was throwing food, which is another.
What kind?
Probably
pickle
wasn't
burgers.
It wasn't pickle burgers.
Was something smelly?
Or KFC.
Yeah.
Well, it came from a plane, so it probably was food.
So she's banned for life now, or what's the deal with her?
Nah,
I think she's the new Pepsi spokesperson.
Yeah, she's the only one that loves Pepsi.
How much do people
She's going to be
love
on a
Pepsi?
Super Bowl commercial.
Danny, this could be you if you would have stuck to your amateur taste buds.
That'd be great. The next commercial is just how much do people love Pepsi, and then it's just a phone video of this chick.
Yeah, can I get a Pepsi? I'm sorry, ma'am. We're all out of Pepsi on this flight.
It's perfect. It's so perfect.
So, all right, multi-million-dollar ad campaign star on this flight. So no more flights, but lots of Pepsi. Danny, do you have the bolt hole prepped for this week?
I do.
Okay, all right. So
what'd you do to prep it?
Loaded it
in. Okay. So we will get to that in just a moment. But as we're talking about the worst airline passenger of the week, it's a great time to check in and talk about the problems with traveling by air when you've got a car. And the great thing about our driving is you don't have to deal with crazy people yelling in your car about Pepsi. And at this same time, you could be saving a lot of money on your car insurance, Danny, with our friends over at AIS, the auto insurance specialists.
I need insurance. Not a good driver.
Yes. All right. Well, at the AIS auto insurance specialists, they will use their smart quote technology to make sure that you're not paying too much for car insurance, that they are going to run all of your information and your vehicle type, your driving history, all of the important factors, and they're going to go ahead and get you the best rates with a ton of different carriers with the insurance coverage that you need to make sure you're not overpaying, because these insurance companies try to stick it to you. They raise your rates when you're not looking, and so you can make sure you're saving a lot of money, maybe even hundreds of dollars in only a little bit of time when you go to AISinsurance.com/Rob. Don't make your next insurance payment, so you check the rates with AIS. You can call 1-800-777-4AIS. Go to AISinsurance.com/Rob to go ahead and in as little as 5 minutes, maybe save yourself a lot of money on your auto insurance. Okay, let's go ahead and hear what Danny has in store for us this week in Danny's Bolt Hole.
Welcome to my bolt hole. I think you're gonna like it. I think you're gonna feel you belong.
Okay.
Do you guys know who Marie Kondo is?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yes.
Yeah, my wife's been doing the cleaning.
Big Marie Kondo guy.
Yeah, it's great. It's really helped our house become a little bit more tidy.
Yeah, can you set up Marie Kondo real quick in case for the uninitiated?
She loves mess.
Wait, what?
She hates mess.
She hates mess. What are you talking about?
She loves messes so she can clean them up.
She likes to come in and clean them up.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, I think one of the lines on her show is "I love mess."
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good line. Yeah, she got a show on Netflix. A big thing is to throw out things that no longer spark joy. So getting rid of those things that just clutter your life, right?
Everything.
Which
Nothing
is,
I'm
in a room basically filled with clutter right now. So
except for the picture.
Get to this room. So people have taken that to an extreme, and this ties into Rob's article earlier about people not doing it because they're taking this to their relationships, and that is ditching people who no longer bring joy. And while this could be a Broga type article, we don't know how many people are actually doing this, but it has a term. It's called condoing, or is that how you say her last name?
Kondo, yeah.
Condoing.
Kondo.
Which is getting rid of people in your life, relationships, boyfriends, girlfriends, whatever your relationship is, that no longer spark joy.
Okay.
And so, and the interesting, that's not the only one. There's another lady who's all about tidying up, Hinch. I've never heard of her, but there's a new term called hinching, which is very similar to getting rid, to turn your messy partner into a cleaning guru, which means just fixing up someone, which by the way is a waste of time.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
There's daffodilling, which is another term when a love interest pops up into your life, like in the spring. A lot of people find love in the spring.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the condoing one is interesting. It interests me the most because getting rid of something that no longer brings joy. Well, nobody brings joy all the time, right?
Well,
Not
yeah,
even
but
Tyson?
that's where you. Not even me, Danny.
Well, what I mean is like if that's what you're basing your relationship on, someone who no longer brings joy, it means you're probably not going to have sexual relations for a long time.
Yeah.
Because
I believe
in search of a person that's constantly bringing joy is like finding a unicorn.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think it has to be constant. I don't think it's like you're like, okay.
But they're saying get rid of it as soon as it no longer brings joy.
For
That's what I'm
even if
saying.
it's a split instance. Even if Liz is like, Danny, clean your room, and you're like, mwah, you're out of here. And then she's like, and I'll scratch your back, and you're like, too late, I already got rid of you.
But you know what I'm saying? It's a dumb way to base. It's a dumb thing to base your relationships on.
I think if you do it that way, yeah. But I think if you're like, this never brings me joy.
Well, relationships are fun and games up front, right?
Sure.
They
Lots
tend
of
to be
joy.
Exciting, new, lots of joy.
Frontier, yeah.
And
that's
then-
why everybody's like, that's why everybody I've ever been with is like, why can't it just be like when the olden days when you were trying to impress me? I was like, because I was trying to impress you.
Yeah, Liz says the exact same thing. Like, you used to be so much more affectionate. I'm like, yeah, I was tricking you into marriage.
Yeah.
There's no joy. So if she catches hold of the condoing, it could be real trouble for me.
Yeah.
Oh, you got to cancel your Netflix subscription.
So what I'm saying is that it's a real dumb way to base your relationship. If you want a long-term relationship, you have to learn how to go through the moments that aren't pure joy.
Yeah. I bring my own joy. I don't look to my wife for
There
joy.
you go.
2 years.
I find my own joy.
See, Rob, maybe you should start a movement.
Your own show.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Where
about
you're like,
finding.
I don't care if these objects do or don't bring me joy because I bring myself joy.
Yeah, I bring
So
myself
I can
joy.
have as many pairs of cowboy boots as I want.
Yeah, or flannel shirts in Rob's case.
Yep.
Flannel shirts bring me joy. I'll have as many as I want.
Or even if they don't bring me joy, it doesn't matter because I bring myself joy.
Yeah.
You're
Right.
just
I'm
a big
feeling ya.
walking human joystick.
So to go
Whoa.
back to the story about the millennials who are not having sex, that is the issue here, Danny, that 20 years ago there was not that much to do. People just hooked up. They weren't waiting for the perfect person who brought them joy.
Yeah,
who
you stuck
checked
it
off
out.
the Tinder height verification checkbox. That it was just like, okay, this person is here. I'm here. There's nothing else to do. I don't have social media. And so then you just found that person.
Well,
That
yeah,
could
and
be.
that's exactly that's part of the tie-in with this story is that back in the day you had fewer options. You probably didn't travel as much. You didn't see as many people.
Yeah. Well, and remember that eating bananas sensually on video chat is now illegal in some places.
Yeah, but this is also a real thing that people believe that ultimate choices brings happiness when in fact that has been proven to not be there's a million things on TV and people sit there and say, oh, nothing is on. But you used to have 3 things to watch on TV and you just had to say, well, I only have these 3 things, so I guess I have to just pick one and stick with it.
No matter what.
Choice paralysis.
Yes.
Like there's too many options. So you block up. Yeah.
Yes, because it's like, oh, well, now I feel stupid because I'm not finding the perfect one.
And it's the same thing. The condoing is like jumping from channel to channel in relationships.
Right.
You got cable basically with relationships.
Whereas with dating, it was like, well, there's 3 single people in my town, so it's one of these 3.
And for us, it was easy because thank goodness our wives didn't know how many more available people there were who were way better than us. It's like you could,
it was just whatever was in front of them. That's it.
Yeah, it's like I can fool you long enough to believe that I'm the best thing available.
Yeah,
and then I'll lock that down.
Yeah, my wife didn't know anybody else that was on TV.
Yeah.
Now she's probably bumping into at least 100 all the time at every grocery store.
Yeah,
or more.
Probably.
More. Yeah.
Does she go to Ralph's down in Malibu?
No.
She should. That's where you'll see the most famous people.
So
Malibu.
Just be aware, guys, if you hear someone talking about condoing a relationship, maybe what was that app you said?
Oh,
maybe
Ship.
Yeah, maybe jump on Ship.
Yeah, that's right. Because Ship is like, then you have people saying like, just go with this person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and a long time ago, not a while ago, I did read something about arranged marriages and how they typically work out. And I know a lot of that has to do with society pressuring these people to stay together.
Yeah.
But the truth is, you could get along with most people if you're willing to work with them. The minute they lose joy and you condo them, then that type of behavior is just going to lead to a lifetime of loneliness and no sex. So.
What are you going to do? All right.
We've got research. We've got science on our side here.
Yeah. As long as you don't want nonstop joy, you'll be fine in any relationship.
Yeah. But also, I mean, to put a positive spin on this, we don't want the earth to be overpopulated.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. We're just let only the most promiscuous of our citizens procreate, and I think we'll be fine.
Okay. Okay, that's how you determine who's allowed to have children.
No, it's not allowed. This is natural selection. The most promiscuous will procreate, and everybody else is fine.
Okay, it's a deal.
Yeah.
If we were all
as long as I have someone,
and there's no law. Yeah, anybody can have a baby if they want one.
Yeah.
If they want to be promiscuous,
if they
enough.
want one, but yeah, they have to have. They have to want to have a physical relationship first.
Mm-hmm. Desire.
Yeah.
All right, that's some good
deep
advice, Rob.
That was deep.
Yeah.
That's right.
Way to dig
So, all right. So, play Skrillex across some of these nations that have mosquito problems.
That's right.
And then we've solved all of the world's overpopulation.
Check.
Yeah.
Done.
April Fool's Day is garbage because every day is April Fool's Day.
Yep,
Check.
believe it.
And
we can't solve all
get
the
that lady on a
problems
Pepsi commercial.
That's only 4 things out of an infinity of
What
problems
else?
that we have to solve.
This isn't hard.
We'll have to work on it. Every show is us working at it, slowly chipping away.
Yeah.
At the world's problems.
Okay.
Sorry, I don't know why my desk is making shake noises.
Is there an earthquake?
Yep.
It's an earthquake.
Tyson's having an earthquake?
I guess so.
Yeah. All right.
I've got some. We've got some reviews here.
Oh, some reviews.
Yeah.
Newsaf.news.
Great fun. 5 stars by Lori from Evil.
Mm-hmm.
Evil?
Evil. Don't read it. It could be a hex.
You know you've made it when all 3 podcasters have been named for rescue dogs. Bryson may have been the last, but sometimes the best is saved for last.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
But not always, Danny. Come on.
But sometimes, and in this case, for sure.
Okay. Whether they are reporting on the worst customer on an airplane or wondering how Danny can leave half-eaten bags of candy or half-drink cans of dew wasted, it's always fun to wait to hear what is bell dinging worthy from Rob.
Oh.
These 2 survivors and Danny keep us guessing and laughing every week to the point that this podcast is my favorite and my dirty little pleasure. Whoa.
Yeah.
Nice.
I still don't know how many times Tyson has moved or where Rob finds so
How'd
much
they know you were
fashionable
moving again?
plaid. I have to move again in 6 months.
Yeah. How did they already knew?
They knew before because this was on March 20th. I wish they would have told me. I would have had 10 more days to plan. Love it when they bring in their personal lives, wives and children into the topic to entertain us. Perhaps it's time to pick new rescue pups and have Rob Jr. and Tyson 2.0 available for adoption. Keep doing it, guys. This Hoosier waits every week to hear what is actual and factual.
Yes. Okay.
Hoosiers. Whoop, whoop.
Hoosiers.
Nice. Tyson 2.0. I like that nickname.
For the dog or for Tyson?
For Tyson.
But I'm the original Tyson.
But you're changing.
But I'm reinvented.
You're like a butterfly emerging from its cocoon.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. Tyson 2.0. All right.
Okay.
All right.
Tyson 2.0.
Thank you. That was a
Sounding
good
off.
review.
So here we are back for another round of News AF. In 1 week's time, we'll do it again, and we will be back with more stories from our Facebook group. You can go to facebook.com/groups/group AF. Tyson, I saw Allison in the Facebook group shared a Crystal Pepsi display that she saw.
Oh, dude, I know. It looked delicious, didn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Got to get me that Crystal Peps.
Yeah. She said, saw Crystal Pepsi at my local Walmart and thought of Tyson. My friend who was with me did not know Crystal Pepsi existed. That's what growing up with strict Mormon parents did to her. My Mormon mom did not stop any of this. Is Crystal Pepsi especially popular with Mormons, Tyson?
I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, I can
you
only
were so
speak-
excited by it.
Yeah, that's because it's hilarious.
You know, thank goodness that lady on the plane wasn't screaming for Crystal Pepsi. That's an impossible request to fill.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
What if the world we lived in, what if in an alternate universe, all cola is crystal except for one brown cola that everybody raves about every time?
Oh, I could see that. Totally.
Yeah, it's weird that people seem to think that the Crystal Pepsi is gross, but I only drink the black Pepsi.
Yeah.
I'm only like that
Caramel.
clear stuff is disgusting. Give me the black
I mean,
cola.
they are different flavors, but I like the Crystal Pepsi. It's fun.
Yeah. It's a different flavor. It doesn't taste the same, Tyson?
No, it tastes a little different.
Yeah. It tastes more like a 7-Up.
I don't think so. I think that's incorrect.
Okay. All right.
Maybe it does.
What about Crystal Dew, Danny? Would you be interested in Crystal Dew?
No, it doesn't have yellow number 6.
Yeah, the color makes a big difference to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's my it's this thing that I look at and my body knows it's about to receive something.
Yeah, Pavlov's dog.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you watch this video about the newscasters that were using all of the young people slang?
No, but I bet it went south fast.
Yeah. Let me play this before we sign off. Okay, this is from Toledo's WTOL.
How old are they?
I don't know. They're probably younger than we are. But here we go.
Good morning, TPS students. It is testing week, and it's time to slay all day.
Yeet. Stay woke, be on fleek, and get that Gucci breakfast.
Goals. Say bye, Felicia, to that testing stress. Weather's going to be turned, right, Chris?
Yes! Toledo weather.
Oh my gosh, I feel like I'm watching Blue's Clues.
A hundo.
Blue's Clues or Broad City?
No, it felt like Blue's Clues, just the guy's enthusiasm.
Yeah, there's a lot of enthusiasm.
Yeah, I don't know why they were doing that. I guess it was for the kids had tests, so they were trying to speak directly to
the kids.
To the kids.
The worst mistake you can make is try to speak directly to kids.
Yeah, it's they can spot a phony from 100 miles away.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Lots of fun here on News AF this week. Thanks so much to Scott St. Pierre putting this all together. For the podcast version, you can follow at Danny Bryson and at Tyson Apostle. I'm at Rob Cesarino. Take care, everybody. Have a good one. Bye.
Stay woke, my home slices.